race fans, sim fans, RC fans, Racing 393 here again. And today we're sim racing, and as you can see, GT Omega. Those of you that know, it's one of the sort of prolific suppliers for sim racing gear in the UK. Probably, let's be fair, aimed at perhaps more of the sort of the budget conscious. Still sort of packs a punch, and some of the equipment you do have to spend a few bucks to get hold of it. But the reason for this video is I've got a new sim rig, and I'm going to do my best to quickly show you around. It won't be a very long video. I've still got some bits and pieces that I need to do, but I thought I'd show you around. The camera's handheld, so you'll have to bear with. So as you can see, that was the back of the seat. So I'll quickly show you an overview. I have to ignore some of the other mess in the background because it's not all been tidied up yet. But this is a GT Omega Prime, which is the aluminium profile construction. I did have a cockpit, but I have a GT Omega Art cockpit, which is more sort of still quite a bit of money, but it was more modular. You can sort of add to it. I think I bought this wheel stand, but it kind of came in as an integration between a wheel stand and an actual sim rig. So you had a seat on a frame that you sort of slide it into the where the steering wheel was held. So, but as you can see here, we've got a profile rig. So that was the same screen as I've always used, a 35-inch sort of curved monitor. But the most impressive thing I found so far is the sturdiness of it all. I'm very, very impressed. The other rig used to sort of flex a little bit, but it's still good enough, even for a direct drive wheel. So my Fanatic direct drive wheel is on this one, as you can see. My pedals on a pedal plate. No flex there that I can see at all. Fully adjustable backwards and forwards, and sort of the rake up and down. But I'll show you sort of around a bit closer up. So there's the computer snuck down the side with the butt kicker on top. As we come down, you can see here the profile rig. It's a hefty piece of equipment, actually. Quite easy to put together. Most of it is done by sort of like these metal 90-degree corner brackets, and then you have to slide into the slot, which, as you can just see there, there's like a an insert which that bolt sort of pinches and bolts to, and bolts them together. So it's fairly straightforward, and you can see here where I've run my butt kickers underneath. You can see that there. So there's sort of the post. Now that post that came off the Art rig. I don't do one for the Prime as yet, so I sort of nicked that one off the Art setup before I sold it. And you can see here that the wiring, well, it doesn't quite run it there, but the wiring does run through the sort of the channeling, and I've just used a bit of duct tape just to keep it in and keep it in place. And you can see that I sort of run my headphones, sort of the control down there. So one of the things, the advantages of the extrusion aluminium rig, is that the wires can be held sort of within the rig, which is quite neat, I think. So I'll come up to where the sort of the wheel is. I'm going to try and move across. I'm not actually sat in the seat, but you're going to have to bear with me while I move. So that there is the mount. Now that's not the mount that comes as standard. The standard mount is just literally like an 1/8 plate, which bolts to the side of those uprights. but this is the direct drive wheel mount that they do, so I decided to upgrade to that, and it's mega solid, fully adjustable. Not the easiest to adjust, like any of this extrusion rig. It is quite a task, but it's much more adjustable to your liking than any other rig. It's got far more scope, I find. It's actually got like a cross brace there, which you can see, and there's sort of the uprights which are bolted down there on really thick. I'm not sure you can see that, but really, there it goes, really thick. I think that's 8th plate. I'm not sure that ain't gonna move. So that's bolted up there. I've got which I'm going to scoop around the other side in a minute. I've got the monitor mount, which is actually mounted onto the rig itself. It's not separate. What else? Well, the seat's fully adjustable, sliding backwards and forward. It is. I've had one of these before. This comes with came with the Pro Cockpit that they do, which is a bit more tubular. This is a little bit more hugging, as you can see. The seat bolsters they come up sort of like a bit more bucket like. Okay for sort of I'm not a particularly big chap, so they fit me nicely. I'm going to bring the camera around, if you excuse while I fall over myself. So this sort of aluminium arm there, which is like a side brace, that comes with the kit. I bought another one, funny enough, and I'm planning to put it on that side, but there's no great rush at the moment. But that fits on the side, which you can probably see there, and the shifter mount, which, if I'm honest, the shifter mount, as solid as it is, the shifter's a little bit too far to the right. There might be a way of repositioning it in the holes. There's plenty of holes on there. They're the only ones that I could see at the moment that it could fit. But I could move it over a smidgen. I could do with it being moved over a little bit, to be honest. But it is what it is at the moment. And I've got my handbrake mounted actually on the rig there, which I haven't actually used yet because I've not been in any rally games. And that was easily fixed. Before it was on it was mounted as it was a proper handbrake on a car, down by the side of the seat. That's kind of more perhaps racy, I suppose, if you like. And one of my button boxes I've mounted on top on an aluminium plate there, which was cut and drilled. So it's like a little console down by the side. You'll also see I've got another button box there, which is one of my original button boxes. I've got another button box coming from America, which is due actually next week. That will go to the other side there, next to the butt kicker control. I'll do a little review on that once I've got that. But to be honest, it's actually a little bit like that one there. It's got like a flip switch with like a cover on it, like you get in you flip the switch up and then the switch down to start. So that'd be quite good. Looking forward to getting that. And I've got on the other right hand side my what is that? My Amazon pad. I can't remember what it's called now, but that uses to run through SimHub. SimHub. I'll get the teeth back in. So that runs all the telemetry. And I was actually using my McLaren wheel earlier on. Now, the distance, I was really pleased with the distance between the wheel and the screen, as you can see, is really close, and that's what I wanted. So the actual unit is actually underneath the screen, and the wheel is like, if you move it round, you can see there. What's that? 8 inches, he says. So, yeah, to me, it's actually like you're actually driving the car now. So I've used the shield, or sorry, I say the shield. The monitor to act as if it's the windshield, and the wheel takes place of the wheel on the sim, and you're kind of sitting in the sort of position you would be, the best I can get it, in a real car. So yeah, that's one of the amongst many reasons why I'm updating. That was one of the other ones I wanted to do. We're going to come further round. So this is the pretty hefty monitor mount, and the VESA mount is there, but my monitor for some reason on this one doesn't have a VESA support at all, so I've had to sort of use the mount that I used on my art rig. It might look a little bit Heath Robinson, but it is there. It ain't gonna move. And to be honest with you, if I had to put the mount, fix the screen actually on the VESA mount there, I'd have to move the monitor stand mount down even more. But it's quite a hefty piece of kit. So we've got this long cross brace here, as you can see. Got some bits hanging off at the moment, and I've put like a wooden plinth there to hold my sound bar. It's not fully all done yet. I mean, it's screwed in, so it's a little bit more secure. But this there is, if I come back a bit, you can see the monitor mount sort of bolted directly onto the rig itself on the upright. Now you can see there those 3 screws, bolts, which is there's a lot of squirrel marks there. So that should, if actually they can move up and down and tilt back and forth. Again, it's not the most easiest of solutions because these things there. So effectively, you could move this whole mount back and forth, undo those bolts, and it will slide. In theory, that's what it does. It doesn't do it that easy. So, but anyway, apart from that, it's very important that you get it set up to start with. This is behind, so I've tried to do as much cable management as I could there, behind the wheel, sort of hidden away, so it's not down on your feet with the pedals. My actual wiring over there with the PC, I haven't done anything there yet. I've got to sort that out. I'm just making sure I've got a few other bits to add to it, and then I'll sort of tidy that bit up. I've got the sort of my plugs that need to run there, and I've got some plugs behind the sort of the soundbar boom box, if you like, the subwoofer, and that's on another plate. That one that came off my art rig. Just sort of drilled a hole in the mount and sort of drilled it to it. It's fine, solid, so you can sort of stick stuff on there. So that's nicely done. I'm going to come down to where the pedals are. So you can see that plate is yeah, that isn't gonna, that is solid, that is. So the pedals are kind of, I don't think the pedals are quite straight, which is a bit peculiar, but they don't feel like don't feel that on your feet. Again, it's only two bolts hold that in, that one there. To my knowledge, that one there doesn't, no, you can see it's not actually in line, which is a bit, unless I've done something wrong, it might need to be moved. It's something I can look at later on, because you know, it was kind of put together then over a few days. I'll probably look into that if it's not quite central, but it isn't moving it. I mean, it really is, it really does hold the pedals solid. And they're sort of the plate, it's like again a 3mm, I don't know if it's aluminium, not steel actually, that's supposed to be bolted in on some of those bolts, inserts, and it should sit up a bit higher. But I found, to be honest, with all the stuff in here, it was impossible to do. So I've just put that and laid that, it's just resting on the floor, and it's solid. It's just use it for your feet to rest on when you're not racing, to be honest, because your feet should be up on the plate here. Yeah, so that's about it really. So the total cost of this cockpit, which is all the accessories that you see as well, was nearly £1,000. So it's certainly not cheap. However, in my opinion, it's such a marked improvement over the normal cockpits, or the ones I've been used to. Again, this isn't top of the range. I know you can spend silly money, supposedly. Some people might find this silly money, but well over £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 on a rig. And it does pretty much the same what this one does. So, but you know, in my opinion, it's a good upgrade from what GT Omega do, what I did have before. I'll try and zoom out a little bit. So hopefully you can see that. You have to excuse the mess around. So I'm selling some other stuff as well. Yeah, so there we have it. GT Omega Prime with some accessories. I didn't buy a keyboard mount or a mouse mount, not yet anyway. I'm using just a sort of an aftermarket non-sim racing equipment. It does what it needs to do for now. It's not perfect, but it'll do me for the time being. So I'm waiting for a button box, and I'll hopefully give you some update on that. I'll fit it onto the rig, and then we can have a look round, and I might even do some driving, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And bye for now.